This coverage of MWC is brought to you by Bitdefender Mobile Security. The shrunken down LG G2 goes up against the shrunken down Sony Xperia Z1. Hey, it's Josh Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And here is the LG G2 Mini versus the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact. Both the LG G2 Mini and the Xperia Z1 Compact draw heavily from the design language of their larger siblings, almost identical in fact, only shrunken all around. The Xperia Z1 Compact comes with the same all-glass design with the signature silver power button, dedicated camera button, and water and dust protection features of the Z1, while the G2 Mini features the unique power button and volume rocker layout on the back of the device. And the only major difference between it and its bigger sibling is a move away from the glossy finish and more to a matte finish for more comfort and grip. Even though the G2 Mini comes with a much larger 4.7-inch screen compared to the 4.3-inch screen of the Z1 Compact, the dimensions are actually quite similar. A testament to the fact that LG continues to push the boundaries of design with an ultra-thin bezel on the screen, while Sony is completely okay with the larger borders around its own. As far as displays go, the LG G2 Mini packs that 4.7-inch display with a QHD resolution that's 960 by 540, resulting in a pixel density of 234 ppi. The Xperia Z1 Compact stands true to its no compromises in all respects, including the display, featuring a 720p 4.3-inch display with a pixel density of 342 pixels per inch. While the LG G2 Mini screen is serviceable, albeit a little bit disappointing, there is no competition right now when compared to the Z1 Compact. And once again, a comparison of the two seems a little unfair when it comes to the hardware. Under the hood of the Z1 Compact is a 2.2 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 800, 2 GB of RAM, the Adreno 330 GPU, and overall it is comparable to even today's flagships. Performance is as smooth as you would expect. The G2 Mini comes with instead a 1.2 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 400, coupled with 1 GB of RAM, but it should all still be more than enough to handle most tasks. In the camera department as well, the Z1 Compact comes with the same 20.7 megapixel G-Lens camera as the Z1, enhanced with even more software features. The G2 Mini comes with an 8 megapixel rear shooter, which isn't quite as bad at all, but it does come with much less power comparatively. What the G2 Mini does have though is a slightly larger battery at 2440 mAh compared to the 2300 of the Z1 Compact. And finally, when it comes to software, you get the same minimalistic Xperia or Timescape UI as always on the Z1 Compact. And while you get the same bright and colorful Optimus UI in the LG G2 Mini, it is packed with software features which does put it a little bit over the Z1 Compact in terms of having features like the knock code. But being an older release, the Z1 Compact is available with Android 4.3, but its upgrade to 4.4 should give it some enhancements, while the G2 Mini will launch with KitKat out of the box. In this case, it does have to do with features, as the Z1 Compact does come with features like the Walkman and other Sony apps that are included in, and small apps, but overall it's a pretty stock-like experience compared to the very full-featured version of Android found in the G2 with the Optimus UI. And so there you have it for this comparison and this quick look at the LG G2 Mini and the Xperia Z1 Compact by Sony. Now, a recurring theme of this comparison is that Sony decided mini or compact did not have to mean mid-range. LG, unfortunately, in this comparison did not get the same memo. While the G2 Mini is more than satisfactory by itself, it comes nowhere close to the Z1 Compact in most aspects. That being said, both smartphones will be priced significantly differently. The Xperia Z1 Compact is a flagship smartphone for all intents and purposes, and it will be priced accordingly. The G2 Mini, on the other hand, is a mid-range device through and through, and this difference should reflect it in its pricing, which will come lower than the Z1 Compact. For all of the best coverage of the LG G2 Mini and the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact, make sure you stay tuned to Android Authority, your source for all things Android.